everybody. This is Eric with Muscle Cars with Eric coming at you today for another episode of What's in Your Garage. Today we are in North Phoenix, and the mountains here are absolutely gorgeous, and we have an opportunity to shoot a very, very cool, unique, early 70s Cuda. It is actually a 1973, but it's been retro modded with 1970 goodies on it. We'll explain about that to you here in a minute. But in the meantime, we're going to knock and see if he's here. I confirmed it earlier. And I like it when a plan comes together. All right, here we go. And there it is right there. And there's my buddy Steve.
Eric, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you, bud?
Good.
Good. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I basically kind of hounded you, didn't I?
A little bit.
Yeah, well, you know.
That's all right, though.
Yeah, well, thanks,
good.
man. Because this car is really super cool. We'll get to the story here in a minute. But this is a 1973 Plymouth Cuda with 1970 treatment.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
So we'll get into that here in a second. But as you know, the episode is What's in Your Garage, which of course in your garage. But I was wondering if you could give our viewers an opportunity to do a cold start video so we can hear this bad devil start, warm up, hit the accelerator a little bit, and then pull it on out.
Well, that's the fun part, isn't it?
Dude, I love when a plan comes together. Damn. Only here at Muscle Cars with Eric do you actually get to hear a cold start video. Stick around. So we've known each other for a few years, and the first car we did was your beautiful Charger,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Okay.
Yep.
And now you have one of my favorite cars in the whole wide world, early 70s Plymouth Cuda. And you bought this at the Mecum auction in Glendale this past spring, right?
I did, absolutely.
So give me a little story about that. Off camera you talked about it being a resto mod and whatnot, so kind of let's get into a little bit of detail about this car here today.
Yeah, when I first bought it, I looked it up by the VIN and found that it had been bought in 18 from Barrett Jackson, the way it was born.
Okay.
And so the car was born completely different than the way it sits today.
So how was it born?
It was born with a 318 in it, automatic transmission, white. And at that point, whoever bought it and doing research obviously did the resto mod to it.
Okay.
And so they put the 440 in it, the 4-speed, put the big rear end in it, and then painted it the Sassy Green, tires, wheels, on and on, did a complete restoration from the bottom up on this car.
Okay.
Then it came up for sale at Mecum this spring, and it had some issues, and just in doing some research, I just think that whoever bought it really wasn't a mechanic kind of person. It was just time for it to go before it really started becoming an issue.
Okay.
Mechanically.
Now I shot a short video of this at the car show, Car Hartley, the Benefit Car Show. She did, or we did for her. And it's a 1973 Cuda,
Right.
originally a 318. But then a lot of people, I put a short up on us already on YouTube, and a lot of people commented, and you saw the comment, oh, it's not a 1973. So explain to us really what the deal is. I mean, the rest of them is one thing, but how do people confuse the taillights and hood and you know, the grill and whatnot?
The grill, when they did the resto mod, 70 is more of the model year that people are more after that year.
Okay.
Versus later years.
Okay.
So they put a 1970 nose on it, and they put the 1970 tail panel on it.
Okay.
And that's why everybody thinks it's a 70, because the rest of the car didn't change. The body didn't change. It's just the front and rear panels that changed and grills.
So it is titled and registered and built as a 1973. Okay. Just a couple little things make it look like a 70. Right. That's what causes confusion.
Right.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Now
that's what that's all about.
So that should be solved there, hopefully, folks. All right. Because we're not trying to blow smoke up your butt. It just that's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
All right. So now, you've been a Mopar guy basically your whole life.
Yep.
You're finding and collecting and whatnot. And we talked off camera a little bit about the difference between the Cuda and what was the other model you were looking at? The Challenger. So what prompted you to move towards the Cuda, which I think is impeccable taste, but what
the Cuda just to me has more of a racy look to it than the Challenger. The Challenger is kind of more of a
let's kind of walk this way and keep the car in the background.
And the Cuda is more of the performance sports car, race car kind of vibe, kind of like the Charger that I have. The 70 Charger is more leans that direction, and so I just kind of lean that way as well.
That's pretty cool. Now you said this and other cars were at the Mecum auction, and you kind of were like looking at the waters basically and seeing what was going on with the pricing. I understand pricing this year really didn't do too well, and it probably had a lot to do with the election and the uncertainty of the economy and whatnot.
Yeah, I think
or is it the car collection niche?
I think people are just hanging on to their money.
Okay.
That's kind of what the talk has been, is because of the uncertainty of what you just stated, that they're just kind of hanging and waiting. And the other 5 cars I was looking at between Challenger and mostly Cudas, is the reserves were not met on those cars.
Okay.
And in fact, not a lot of cars sold at Mecum if you look at the numbers.
No kidding.
A lot of cars hit reserves.
Okay.
This one, I think they let the reserve go where they did, again, because they knew it had mechanical issues that needed to be addressed.
I see.
It was just time to let the car go.
Okay.
And get into somebody's hands like me, who just thrives on doing all this mechanical stuff and fixing stuff.
Yeah,
and
good for you.
And that's just what I do to keep myself sane. So,
there you go.
So
you got an awesome man cave, by the way. We got to shoot a video this here one of these days. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you talk to me about the car here? I mean, we talked a little bit about the auction experience and the year and then whatnot, and the grill and stuff like that. So let's kind of walk around here a little bit. Now, this color is what's called
Sassy Grass Green.
Sassy Grass Green, because it's a Plymouth color.
Right.
But Dodge is the same color, but they call it Sublime Green.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Well, that's interesting the way they did that. And you said you updated the wheels?
Updated the wheels and tires that were on it. It had 20-inch wheels on it, which just didn't fit this era car. That's something that these young kids put on. So I went back to an 18-inch, actually the 17-inch wheels, to give more of the tire. And give it that not resto mod look, but the old school look.
That's pretty cool, and it is resto mod.
Matches the car. It is.
Yeah, and so people are going to say, "Oh, you go stock wheels." No, it's your car. And the beauty about car collecting and this kind of stuff is that it's your car.
Right.
You kind of do with it as you please.
Right.
And this is your baby. That's not their baby.
That's right.
If they want to have a Cuda, then let them go build their own Cuda, right?
Exactly.
God bless America, right?
God bless America. So we pulled those off and I put these on.
Is this?
That is the Cuda, the Shark.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, I can't remember the name exactly. It's the Shark's stripe or something. And normally it comes argent, which is a silver.
Yeah.
Like the tail panel.
Right.
And this wasn't on the car when I bought it, but I like those, so I got them and painted them black.
That's pretty cool.
To match all the other black accents on the car. Put them on, and I think.
Can you open that for me?
Anyway,
I don't want to get my thumbprints all over it.
Turned out really well.
Now,
and then
the interior and all this was still it was like this when you bought it. At auction, did you have to clean it up?
Almost.
Okay.
I had some things to fix. Some buttons were missing.
Okay.
There was no center console, and then the shifter.
I see that.
Wore out. Well, I found a Sassy Grass Green shifter handle online.
Did you really?
I had to get it and put it on the car.
Oh, of course.
Instead of the old wore out wood grain plastic.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty much the same.
Sills are in great condition. They were replaced, of course, when the resto mod.
Yeah. I did a lot of cleaning and polishing. It's amazing what steel wool will do for you on this stuff.
Yep. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
Fun car to drive.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet it is. Well,
This 440 and it's got tons of power.
Yeah, he says it's a fun car to drive. I think we're going to be able to go for a ride in this car later.
I think we are.
All right, stick around, man. We're doing some more here. I like this. This is just like so cool. Obviously, it wasn't like that originally, but you bought it with this on it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And here's your.
Well, see, that's the way bikers like the Charger. That was born with a 318 and an automatic in white. When that car was born, it looked nothing like it.
No, it doesn't look anything like.
That's, you know, it didn't have a Hemi in it, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's where the VIN plates used to be.
Yeah.
I bought one that says nothing on this car is as original as it came. It's just full of a lot of built with a lot of blood and tears.
Good for you. That's pretty cool.
The plate.
That's
people
neat.
will read that and they'll look at me and start laughing.
Yeah, that's neat. Are you gonna do the same thing with this one?
You want. Well, this one they actually covered the holes, so I don't know if I want to drill holes or maybe some double back tape. And
there you go.
Get something a little different maybe and stick it on there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Again, you build them like you said earlier. You build them the way you want them.
Exactly.
What you're looking
Yeah,
for.
exactly.
What you're after. And
it's like musicians. They play music the way they want to play music. You know, I mean, not everybody can be Eddie Van Halen.
Right.
But then again, Stevie Ray Vaughan is totally different. They're both guitar players.
You build what you want. That's all four of these are that way.
Yep, that's cool. And you got a nice collection. I like it.
Thank you.
It's pretty cool stuff, man. Now this is the tail
panel,
and these are 1970.
Right.
What did a 1973 look like? Because I don't remember. Weren't they the longer ones?
They had like a separate.
Right.
I guess it was a separate backup light, maybe.
Okay.
Or a separate. I'm not totally sure.
That's okay.
I know in '74 they went round. They were round.
Right.
They went completely away from this section, but these were the ones that were compact and didn't have that extra piece and get long.
They look pretty sharp too. It is cool. And I like your exhaust when it comes through here. The rear diffuser. God, this is so neat. Man. So
these wheels are kind of different in that they're an 11-inch wheel, but the dish, if you look on the outside, it looks like a normal wheel like the front.
Yeah.
Well, the dish is on the inside.
Oh.
Which is different. Normally you see the big width on the outside. So people look, I've kind of comments go, oh, you didn't put a big tire on there. I go, come here. Come back here and look. There's the tire. It's there. It's just the wheel, the dish is on the opposite side.
That's pretty smart. It's a very cool look.
Different look. I wasn't sure at first.
Can we get in here?
I do like it.
Oh, yeah. Just, you know, like we're talking, there's just something about the Cuda that just makes it so dang cool.
Absolutely.
You know?
It's just a car onto its own. It's just its own style, its own thing. It's just got that get up and go fast look to it.
It does. It's just
when you throw a 440 in it,
it does get up and go.
Then it get up and go.
Yeah. Speaking of which, can we pop the hood?
Yeah.
So you guys know that I always refer to the engine as the diamond in a setting. Now, needless to say, the setting is really freaking cool. Now, let's take a look at this engine here. Of course, legendary shaker.
And then we've got the upgraded the 440 and then actually went with the stock exhaust manifolds, which I think is cool. Everybody wants to throw headers on stuff, but these stock exhaust manifolds work really well. And it's when you need to work on the motor and plugs, it's way easier than with headers.
Oh, I bet it is. Yeah, because they're designed for that.
Yeah, with headers, sometimes you got to go underneath the car to get plugs out.
Yeah. With
this, you don't have to do that, so it's kind of nice. And then the other thing is they added air conditioning. The vintage air was added to this.
That's pretty cool.
Too, and it actually works.
That's awesome.
That's a plus.
Especially in Arizona.
It actually works.
Now, we talked a little bit about these here. These, you think they're just done More to stabilize the front clip or something?
Yeah,
or?
just to stiffen up the nose.
Okay.
And normally
because they don't go all the way through the back, do they? Yeah.
To stiffen up the front, and I don't know that anybody was road racing this car, but maybe they were.
Who knows?
When they put it together.
Now it looks like the engine has been redone. You said it's been rebuilt. It's a 440.
It's a 440, and the description just said updated and upgraded.
Okay.
440. So I know there's a cam in it. You can hear that.
Yeah.
The rest of it, who knows?
Okay.
Without tearing it apart.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to tear it apart.
But the oil pressure is awesome. The thing does not get hot. So those are the two big winners.
Very, very cool.
Runs really well.
Let me roll over here real quick. Oh, a little chrome alternator, but I like the fact it's not all chromed out.
Yep.
A lot of chrome is good for like your deuce coupes with the exposed engine, but.
So I actually wish this just had the stock alternator on
really?
it and didn't have the chrome one, because that would match everything else.
It would.
However, my backup one I have on my shelf is also chrome.
Yeah, you said you have several extra parts or whatnot.
I've got parts I've collected over the years, and just sometimes you need something and you've got to order it, and a week later it shows up because you just can't go to the store and buy power steering pump or an alternator for these things, or a water pump. I found one time it took me days to get one of those, and so I just like to have extra up on the shelf. So if I need it, I just go grab it and deal with it, and I can replace it later.
There you go.
Instead of waiting.
So now, in addition to the wheels and tires, because you said off camera the tires were kind of bad.
Tires were all cracked and destroyed.
Really?
It wasn't even safe to drive.
All right, I'm going to come over here and get better light on you. But, so what else? I mean, when I came over here one time to check it out, it was up in a rack, and you were kind of fussing underneath it. There was like wire exposed and not wire looms. And what all did you have to go through with this car after you purchased it from auction? Because could be a good lesson for people that want to buy cars at auction, just to look out for. And you mentioned to me you had extra money in your pocket to take care of stuff like that. So what was your whole plan of attacking this one?
Well, again, with an auction, you don't get to drive the car.
Right.
Like you could if some private person was selling it. So you'd have more time to find out what's really going on with the car. So you know there's going to be some stuff that you just don't know about until you get it home and start looking.
Right.
So once I got it home, I found a huge exhaust leak on one side of the motor, which was weird that if you stood on that side of the car you couldn't hear it. You come over here, then all of a sudden you hear it. It was really weird. Normally you can hear exhaust leak anywhere, but this one, because it was on, I guess, the rear cylinder back there, and it was blowing out the bottom. But in any event, so I found that, so I had to change that, and that was an ordeal in itself. Just short story long, is they used the wrong studs. They were too long, so the intake manifold wouldn't come off.
So you had to shear the studs?
I had to take the studs with a big pair of pliers I got, lock pliers, and I had to take them out of the heads, through the holes that were in the exhaust manifolds out, and then thread them out through those holes and get them out.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was quite the ordeal. I won. I usually do.
There you go. Yeah, right on. Dude, I love that attitude, man.
I got the right studs.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right length to put it back together, but there was that, and then the shaker was completely, none of the attachment points were there, so it was just sitting there. So I had to fix that, and yeah, there was some exposed wires underneath running by exhaust, and just running through metal things, just waiting to short out. And you look through those kind of things, if you don't need that problem going down the road.
Right. And that's the lesson learned there. I asked you, did you drive it home? Is you never drive an auction car home because of those reasons. Right. Because you never know what can go wrong.
You don't know what you got for brakes with the steering, and the steering was a problem too. Okay. I had to put a steering box in it. There was no adjustability left in it, and it was like this.
Oh, that's never safe.
No.
And plus you said the tires were all shot.
The tires were completely shot. They were weather checked, cracked so bad that it would have been not safe to drive.
Okay, gotcha.
I was going to change the wheels anyway. I knew that because I didn't want the 20-inch wheels on. I wanted the 17s, the normal look, as far as I'm concerned anyway. But so, you know, there were those things, and then just general cleaning and polishing and that kind of stuff.
Getting ready for the YouTube debut, brother.
Right, and that's what I do. That just keeps me sane and keeps me busy. And
well, I think we're ready for a drive. You did it right. Can we go for a ride?
Let's do that.
Let's do it. Drive it like you stole it. Stick around for more right here. And do the video. Cuda, baby. Hey guys, thanks for watching that last video. I hand selected a couple videos for you to watch right now. Click here.